So now I have to take this because I want to explain the inner ear. So when you talk about the inner ear, it is going to be comprised of the bony labyrinth and the membranous labyrinth. So the bony labyrinth is going to be this outer part, and let us imagine that there was a plastic lining inside this. Then that would be the membranous labyrinth. Okay, so the membranous labyrinth is going to be comprised of all our sacs, utricle, saccule, and all. Okay, that is going to be our membranous labyrinth. Bony labyrinth is just going to be bone coiled over itself. That is going to be bony labyrinth. So now, when we talk about this bony labyrinth, it is going to be comprised of three parts. It's going to be comprised of the semicircular canals, okay, and it is going to be comprised of the vestibule, and it is going to be comprised of the cochlea, okay. It is going to be comprised of the semicircular canal, the vestibule, and the cochlea. So the semicircular canal, let us first take a look at the semicircular canal. So the semicircular canal is going to be comprised of it is going to be comprised of the semicircular ducts, and it is going to be comprised of the ampule. Okay, ampule is going to be the distal bulged part of it. So when we talk about this semicircular canals, it is going to be arranged in such a manner that it is going to be present in all three planes of normal space. Okay, x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. Okay, so we got three semicircular canals. We got the anterior, posterior, and lateral semicircular canals. So this is going to end in distal bulged parts, which is called as the ampullary crests. So these ampules are going to have ampullary crests, and these are going to be lined by sensory neural epithelium. And what happens is that this is going to be helpful for it to detect the rotatory movements. Okay, for it to detect the rotatory movements, it is helpful, and that is going to be comprised of hair cells, and they are going to take all of it, and it is going to be sending it to a particular ganglion, which is then going to be taking this particular info via the vestibular nerve to the brainstem, and this is a organ of balance. Okay, and then when we talk about the next one, which is going to be, so this is about the semicircular canal. Imagine a picture of the middle ear right over here. Okay, I'll show that. Okay, middle ear. So this is about the semicircular canals. Now we're going to take a look at this part, which is going to be the vestibule. So when you talk about the vestibule is going to be comprised of the two windows, which we saw in the medial wall of the middle ear, which is going to be the round window and the oval window. Okay, so these are two openings that are going to be present in the vestibule, which is going to connect the vestibule to the middle ear. Okay, and when you talk about this vestibule, it is going to be comprised of two things. It is going to be comprised of utricle and saccule. Okay, so utricle and saccule. So saccule and utricle, both of it are also again innervated by the vestibulocochlear nerves vestibular division, and it is also needed for the for gaining information about the linear acceleration. Okay, so when you talk about the saccule, it is needed for the vertical acceleration, vertical movements like up and down, and then when we talk about the utricle, that is needed for the horizontal movements. Okay, like left to right. That is going to be about the vestibule. And then next we need to look at the cochlea. So when you talk about the cochlea, it is going to be a coiled part, and this coiled part is okay, so it is going to be coiled like this. Okay, and there is going to be this one image which is going to be kind of confusing. So we got our cochlea like this. Okay, so this cochlea, let us imagine it to be like a whipped cream. Okay, whipped cream kind of thing. So imagine that the whipped cream has got multiple colors. Okay, one over the other over the other. That is how the cochlea is. So this cochlea has got three parts. What are the three parts that it is going to act like the multiple colors of the whipped cream? Is that first we're going to have the vestibule, and then we're going to have the tympani, and then we are going to have the cochlear duct. Okay, let me show that. Let me see if it is there.